Joining us is former ABC News anchor Carol Simpson. She made history in 1988, becoming the first woman and African American to be the sole moderator of a presidential debate for a major network. Carol, thanks for being here. I really appreciate your time. I want to just first, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to first get your reaction, though, on really the unprecedented nature of this debate. We've got an incumbent president in a rematch against a twice impeached former president. How would you be preparing going into this debate?
I am so excited about this debate because it's going to be like none other. How would I prepare to moderate such a debate? You really almost can't, because you don't know what Trump is. He's the unknown factor, and who knows what he may do or say during the debate. And so I think Jake Tapper and Dana Bash are having a really tough time trying to anticipate all the things that could happen, like even someone falling out, fainting. I mean, you don't know. So I think it would be very difficult. In 1992, when I did my debate, it was very easy because everybody was good. Everybody behaved. They listened to the commission's rulings, and they kept by the rules. This time, who knows?
And, you know, that's part of why the hope is that some of these rules that are in place, like time limits and cutting the mics, once that time limit has been reached and a lack of audience, may tamp down on maybe some of those extraneous factors. But as you mentioned, you can't predict what's going to happen on stage, especially with these two candidates. And look, we've also never had two candidates in their late 70s and 80s on the debate stage before. And obviously age has been an issue for both of these candidates over the course of their campaigns. And I guess this is a big opportunity for voters to see these candidates actually in really an environment where there's no teleprompter, it's not a campaign rally. And I guess my question to you is, do you think that adds a different level of expectations from the voters who will be watching at home?
Well, everybody's expecting Biden to mess up, to do something that may kill his chances of ever being reelected. But let me tell you, I'm 83 and Biden is 81. And I know he's walking slowly, and I know he's holding on and looking tentative. I am too. You're 80. So things are not, your legs and things aren't moving as well as they used to be some years ago. But the brain is still functioning. And I think, you know, if Trump tries to make an issue of Biden's cognitive ability, it sounds so ridiculous to me that he's trying to bring that up. But Biden is smart and he is sharp, and I think he will do well, you know, answering the questions at the debate. And Trump, I think, is, who knows what, he's showing age too. He's having trouble finding words, and there's some cognitive decline there too than in 2016 or 2020 even. So I think everybody's going to want to see what these old guys are able to do. And Biden has a chance to show people, yeah, I'm old, but I can do the job. And Trump, I don't know if he's going to be able to show that he is cognitively able to do the job. So I think the age thing will override every other thing that will be talked about.
Well, and we'll know in just a few days, of course, when this actually kicks off. And as we were talking about the rules a little bit with this debate, one of them will be to mute each candidate's mics once their time is up while the other candidate responds to a question. Look, it might not stop them from muttering or verbally reacting to the other based on past debates. Trump is known for doing exactly that. I want to play a moment from one of their 2020 debates. Take a listen.
The question is, Justice, radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe? Who's on your list?
Right. Gentlemen, I think
this
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's going to pack the court. I'm not going to give a list.
So I guess the question is, how do you think muted mics will impact this debate? Or do you think we're just going to see another dynamic like what we just saw there?
No, I think the muting of the microphones is a good idea because it was disastrous in 2020. I watch all the debates. I'm a debate junkie, so I watch them all, and it was so bad last time. They looked like you know little school kids in the schoolyard talking to each other. So I think the ability for the moderators to be able to turn down Trump. It's he we have to worry about. It's not Biden, but he's the one that wants to talk over his candidates. So I think it'll be a great idea. And the fact that there's no audience, another great idea because people, show their favoritism, and that's not fair.
Now, look, we know based on history that as people watch, they're going to be looking at every detail they possibly can. One tiny slip up could even overshadow a candidate's entire performance and potentially even put them in a bad place for the race as a whole. So I guess what can a candidate do to avoid one of these moments? And are there moments that come to mind for you that really you thought put a candidate in a bad spot?
Yes, in my debate, George H.W. Bush, the father, was running in debate with Ross Perot and Bill Clinton. And I remember people after debate telling me, why did Bush keep looking at his watch? And because I was tied up with moderating, I hadn't noticed that he had done that. But people really, all kinds of people were saying, where did he have to go? That really struck them that he was looking at his watch. And then when I watched the debate, I saw 4 times he had checked his watch, and it did look like he wanted to get out of there. So that was a thing that really hurt. And I don't know how you avoid those things. We're human beings. You react to things as they happen. It's hard not to. And you forget that there are 10 cameras on you and that people all over the world are watching you. And so I think about the fly in Mike Pence's head. That
took
so
on a
funny,
whole life of its own.
It did. It did. It became a meme. So, things can happen. And as I say, we're human beings and we react. Unfortunately, sometimes not wisely, but we do react.
Well, look, all of those.
Can I tell you?
Yeah,
Can
go
I
ahead.
tell you one other thing?
Yeah.
I think the fact that it's being held so early is good because people can focus in more intently on the campaign. But by November, if they don't have a debate in September, they're going to forget about this. And I'm wondering what can happen in between time that this debate will mean nothing, except for the history books.
Well, look, we will have that answer very soon. We'll start with the debate itself in just a few days, where, as you mentioned, anything can happen. We'll try to keep an eye out for a fly getting into the studio. Hopefully not the case this time around. Carol Simpson, appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Omar.